They have been creating pump action rimfires for over 130 years. Today, I brought out some of my collection of rimfire pump actions. Let's get into the video. This video is brought to you by my good friend Skinny Medic and Medical Gear Outfitters. You never know when the unexpected can happen. MGO sells a variety of first aid and trauma kits for every budget. I always keep a trauma kit in my truck, side by side, kayak, and most importantly, my range. Trauma and first aid kits are like insurance. You never need it until you need it. Go check them out and use promo code 22Plinkster for 10% off. Now, back to plinking. If you have recently subscribed to my channel, I'm talking about probably in the last 5 or 6 years, you have seen a lot of new rimfires on the market that I brought onto my channel and made videos with. But if you're relatively new, I am a connoisseur of everything rimfire, meaning if it's something new that's on the market, expensive, inexpensive, it doesn't matter. One of the things when I first started collecting firearms were pump action 22s, or commonly referred to as slide action 22s. On the table in front of me, I'll get you some B-roll. I have some of my pump actions in front of me. It's not all of them, but I do have some of them. And I'm gonna go over the brief history of each and every one of them and kind of tell you how I came to acquire them. So I guess we need to start with this guy right here, okay? This is, all right, does anybody know what this is first? All right, this is a 1906 Winchester, okay? It's chambered in 22 short, 22 long rifle. And this was Winchester's second attempt to make a slide action rimfire. Now this is the first one that I ever bought. That's why I'm showing you this one first. And I actually purchased this from a guy I knew, and it was damaged in a fire pretty bad. There was rusting, bluing, pitting. There was this stock, it was completely charred. And you may notice how thin it is. Usually they didn't come this thin, and the reason I bought it, I think I bought it for like $100, was just to have my gunsmith bring it back to original form. He does hot bluing, he sanded it down, got all of the imperfections out of it, and over the past years, you know, I've got some ding marks in it where I've gotten it in and out of the safe. But this is a 1906 Winchester. They are great shooters, some of them. This particular one, not so much. And the reason being is I believe that this firearm was shot so much that it's just not accurate. There could be something wrong with the crowning on it. It's just not accurate. It does not shoot point of aim. It shoots at about 2 o'clock. From here to my musical targets, which is about 40 feet in front of us, it shoots about 1.5 inches high and 2 inches right. So I could drift the sights if I wanted to. The elevation's backed all the way down, so I can't get my elevation right, but I could get my left to right good. But let's just shoot it a few times. And I am shooting some CCI subsonics here. So no need for hearing protection. I usually use hearing protection for everything, but these are so quiet, I don't need it. It's like shooting a suppressor. So, all right, I've got to aim at 7 o'clock on my targets. Got to put one in it. Okay, so that's 7 o'clock hold. All right, let's go out to 100. All right, so I'm holding at 7 o'clock on my targets and hitting them. I like to hold dead on, but this is actually the first slide action 22 that I ever owned. This is kind of what started it. So once I fell in love with the slide action Winchesters, I had to find the original, okay? Right here is an 1890 Winchester. This was patented by John Moses Browning and his brother in 1888. So this is the model 1890. This one, particular one, is chambered in 22 short. A lot of them were chambered in 22 short, some of them in the long, short, and long rifle. So, but yeah, this is what I'm going after. This is some CCI CB shorts. And they made quite a few of the 1890s. I think they made 3 different models, and I think I own all 3 models, the first, second, and third models. So these are really quiet. Sounds like a little cap gun going off. These are 29 grain projectiles traveling at a little bit over 700 feet per second. Not much knockdown, but I grew up and I learned to shoot rimfire with a 22 short, but it was an old, I think it was a Winchester Model 60, a single shot 22. So, all right. They're so quiet. All right, 100 yards. I don't even know where I'm hitting. Nope, couldn't hit the 100-yard target. But what's really cool about the 1890 and the 22 short is this. Stand by. This. So this is actually a box of ammunition from when I was a kid. It says right here on the stamp that this ammunition was put out January 26, 1984. So I was 5 years old, and the price tag is $5.95. This is the exact sleeve of ammunition that I had when I was taught to shoot on that old Winchester Model 60. So a little piece of history. I'm not going to shoot that up. There's probably 5, 10, 15, 20, there's 25 or 30 rounds in there. I'm not going to shoot those up. So after the 1906, first the 1890, then the 1906, then you had the Model 61. I don't have a Model 61 to show you. That is probably the only one, the pump action style Winchester that I do not own. The Model 61, it's totally different than the 1890 and 1906s. The 1890 and 1906s, the top of the receiver comes up and it's ejected out, with the Model 61 is ejected out of the side. Now after the Model 61, they came out with the traditional style of the 1890 and 1906s with the Model 62. And this is a pretty good shooter. It's not necessarily a tack driver. A lot of these were not really tack drivers because they were utility rifles. They were shot a bunch, they were hunted with, and they really weren't cleaned that great. So let me load up some CCI standard here, or subsonics, excuse me. All right, and close this. All right, let's go. Man, do I feel lucky. All right, 4-inch plate, 100 yards. I think this rifle shoots about 4 inches to the right. Second shot, I was aiming 4 or 5 inches to the right. And it is humid here in Tennessee and my glasses are fogging up. So 4-inch plate, 100 yards, no problem. Out of all the pump action 22s that Winchester made, this one is my favorite. It is much smoother. The corncob grip is larger. I've got big hands. It's easier to work. It weighs slightly more, but not much. They did, on the 62s, come out with the straight butt pad compared to the curved butt pad on the 1890s and the 1906s. Now, I don't even want to show you guys this, but I will show you because it is a pump action that I own. This is a Rossi. A Rossi is kind of a, I think it's to copy the Model 62. I've had this guy a long time. It's all original. I think I paid 50 bucks for it because it's got some rusting and pitting on the barrel. And the reason why I paid 50 bucks for it was because it didn't work. And to this day, it still doesn't work where I would shoot it. The extractor's broke in it, so it will not extract a round out. But I've got a few more 22s to show you, and then we can close out the video. Another pump action rimfire I want to show you is this right here. This is a Winchester Model 275, and it's actually chambered in 22 Magnum. So this is a 22 Magnum, it is pump action, and they actually produced these rifles from 1963 to 1971. For the life of me, I can't tell you where I got this. I don't remember. So I may have bought it. I've had it in my collection a while, and I don't think I've ever shot it. It comes with a Weaver scope. I think this is a 2.5 by 4.5 powered scope, but I never shot this rifle. It may have been one of those things that a buddy of mine was falling on hard times or something like that, and I gave him a couple $100 for it. But I was looking them up, and now this particular rifle goes for like $700 to $800. I couldn't believe it. It is not the most beautiful rifle in the world that Winchester ever put out. It's kind of in those 70s and 80s, late 60 time period with firearms. A lot of times when they were trying to mass produce them, they tried to cut down on material, started using aluminum, stamp parts, things of that nature, but it will get the job done. You didn't think you were going to get through this video without me showing you a Henry, did you? This is Henry's pump action 22 long rifle. You can chamber 22 short, long, or long rifles, and I have probably shot this pump action or slide action firearm more than any other pump action 22. My other ones, since they're over 100 years old, I don't really like to shoot them that much, but we will shoot this one. If you're currently looking for a pump action rimfire, and you don't want to spend the money on a old Winchester that could be worth thousands of dollars, you know, you can pick up these Henrys, you know, relatively inexpensive, and they're going to work. They're going to be accurate. You're going to get that same pump action feel, and you'll be able to find them. These old Winchesters, you know, are a little bit hard to find. Remington made slide action firearms, pump action rimfires, so did Savage, Winchester. You know, there was a lot of companies that made pump action 22. So if you're a collector like I am, you know, go for the Winchesters. But if you want to just go out in the backyard, shoot 10 cans and have fun, go with the Henry. So here we go. Boy, it's a totally different sight picture compared to those other firearms I was shooting. Yeah, this is light years more accurate than what I've been shooting. Yeah, way more accurate, very smooth. I got one more to show you. Last but not least, the Henry pump action, and guess what? 22 Magnum. So if you want something with a little bit more pop, go with the 22 Magnum. All right, I'm gonna load up some CCI Maxi Mags here. And I'm gonna make sure my ears are in good and tight on this. It's just pump actions are quicker to run than bolt guns. I can't necessarily say they're quicker than a lever action, but they are pretty quick. And the good thing about a pump gun is you can stay on your target and move it. So sometimes with the lever, you know, you got to take your hand off of the grip of the firearm, so you have to reacquire that grip. And with the bolt action, it's the same way. With the pump, you can just keep your same grip the whole time. So, all right, here we go. Get these in good. Man, that hits so much harder. So what did we learn here? We learned a little bit about slide actions or pump action rimfires. They're near and dear to my heart. I love my old Colt Woodsmans. I collect old Winchester pumps. I collect a lot of different stuff, but a lot of you guys don't get to see a lot of my collection because I'm usually showing newer firearms on my channel. And you know what? I make you a deal. If I hit 1 million subscribers, I will bring out every 22 that I own and I will shoot it in one video. It's going to take a while. That's going to be a tremendous amount of work. But if I hit 1 million subscribers, I guarantee you I will do it. Guys, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions whatsoever, put them in the comments below. Until next time, y'all be safe and keep blinking.